United States is going to have a Pluto return on February 20th, 2022. So, if you think of Pluto as death and rebirth, then, and you think that in cosmic time, right now Pluto is about 8 or 9 degrees from the position it occupies in the United States chart. People actually set up charts for the birth of countries, and that's how we know this. And in the idea of a vast universe, 9 degrees is probably not that much space. So we could be right at the edge of that catharsis. And that's one of the reasons that the government, at least from an astrological point of view, looks like it's falling apart. One of the reasons. Pluto reveals what's inauthentic, and certainly part of what's happening now is that we're seeing the disparity between the idea of the United States and the actuality. But the other thing that Pluto does is it really brings to the surface what we often feel but are not able to articulate as major currents, major themes. So what we're facing now in terms of the racism and the greed and the hatred that seems to be permeating everything was always there, but if we're in a Pluto return, Pluto's saying, okay, this is inauthentic. This is not congruent with what you say your principles are. For my money, even though I'm not having a Pluto return because I'm not 248 years old, it is possible to take this energy and say, okay, how am I participating in this? Where can I find my own greed, my own hatred, my own racism, my own inability to live up to my idea of who I should be? So it's important, going back to the 3 things that we want to do during this cycle, is marry our ideals, our values, to how we live. So here's the good news about Pluto, is that it is also about renewal. So as we're moving to this Pluto return on February 20th, 2022, we're also moving to making different choices. That's a possibility. And I know that sometimes it feels like a fait accompli. We're not going to be able to make new choices. But there's too much else that's happening that would allow it to just sort of carry on as it is. I would think that there's an element of political activism that everybody may have to participate in some way, because this is no longer, oh, let's leave it for those people over there to take care of. It doesn't work like that anymore. And certainly the dissolution of government capability or organization we're witnessing every day. And this is where I started with the idea that we're in it. Right? This is the soup. We're in the soup. So for instance, what's happening in Puerto Rico and the difficulty there is going to be repeated because there's going to be too many places that need help. And the other thing to think about is we live in a world, and when I say place, I mean globe, where we have so many refugees, so many people who don't have homes and don't have places to live. And we actually need to do something about that, because that is the world. And as climate changes and people lose the ability to farm their land or to grow the food they need for their families, or as they're polluted, or as any of that increases, which we know now is only going to increase, we need to, in the Aquarian utopian ideal of a collective world, we need to find ways to help people. We have to make it better. Nobody's going to do it for us. I think that's the big lesson of Saturn and Capricorn. No one is going to make our world better for us. So figure out how to make your world better. You know, times of change are also times of great innovation. because we have to find solutions. That's what we've always done to survive. And the good news about all of what's roiling is that people are waking up at an amazing rate. People who were never politically active before, suddenly politically active. And they are running for office, and they're determined to make a difference because they are insulted by what they see. So it's not all bad. We just have to know what's coming so we can utilize it the best way possible.